Alright guys, I'm sure you're excited to get started, and I am too, so let's hop right in here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these connector beaded bracelets. This is just a simple bracelet made with hemp, and we're gluing on our end caps. I'm using a magnetic one, so it's got a nice simple closure, something that's going to be really easy to put on your own wrist without any help from anybody else. I don't know if you struggle with that like I do sometimes, but what I'm using today, I'm going to show you how you can use any kind of connector. This is going to be any kind of bead or any kind of charm that has two holes, one on each side. I'm going to show you how you can turn it into a bracelet. I'm using ceramic donut beads. These came in a subscription box that I get. It's called Blueberry Cove beads. She didn't ask me to do a video about it today or anything like that. This is all on my own, but I'm going to show you my little design and what I'm doing with some of the beads that I got in my bead box. So you need scissors, you're going to need some kind of connector. I've got these extra beads here. I'm using 10-pound hemp. You need to cut 6 strands, 12 inches each, and then you have to have some type of glue-on connector. I also have a clipboard here, and that's just to secure my work. So let's jump right in and get started. Just going to pick one of these beads, these donut beads, to get started here. And what we're going to do first, I'm taking 3 strands of hemp. This is the 10-pound hemp, this is the thin stuff. Taking 3 of them, and I'm going to feed them through the hole here on the end. Now if you've got like a charm connector, something like that, you can just tie them around the hole. But what I'm doing is I'm putting it through just one hole here, feeding it through until the ends are all the same length. Okay. And then I am going to add a bead on here. So it's going to put kind of a bead stopper. Still a little uneven here. There we go. I'm going to feed all 6. Now I've got 6 strands now that are doubled up, and these are going to be about 6 inches long to work with. Now it's more than what we need, but it's always better to have more and trim it off than find that you've gotten all the way to the end and find you're just a little bit short. So I'm going to feed these through this hole here. Hopefully I can get them all. There we go. So now I've got like a nice little bead stopper right next to my central connector bead. I'm going to tie an overhand knot just to secure that in place. Try to get it up just real tight there to that bead. Whenever you're trying to tighten your knots, you can always pull individually on the strands, and that will give you a nice tight knot. So there we go. So I've got one side that's got 6 inches of hemp coming off. Now I'm going to do just the exact same thing on the other side here. But yeah, you definitely don't need these specific beads. They're a lot of fun. I like getting surprise beads every month. But even if you don't have a subscription or can't find these exact kind of beads, there are so many things that you can use to make this style of bracelet. It's such a simple style. Feed these all through here. Almost got it. Oh, we got one straggler. Goes so much faster when you get it right the first time. Sorry about that. Okay. Overhand knot. Okay. So now you've got your central part of the bracelet here. So what we're going to do is just make a simple braid on the ends of these to finish this up. I just clip it right into my clipboard here, and I just separate these out 2 strands to make 3 parts each, and I just do a regular braid. It's just enough to give it something, to not leave those all loose and wild. And a regular braid is easy to do. When you get to the end here, just to hold your place, I'm going to do another overhand knot just to keep it in place. We just want to keep those together and keep them from unraveling. We're actually going to cut this knot off at the end, but for now, it serves our purpose. Set that aside. Now what we're going to do, just measure it either against your wrist or on a ruler, whatever you'd like. And what we're going to do is just cut these knots off. What you're probably going to have is about 3 inches worth of braided length. So what we're going to do is add just 1 drop of jewelry glue to the cap of your magnetic clasp, or whatever type of glue-on clasp you're using. Doesn't have to be a magnet, that's just the easy ones I'm using today. Just cut that knot off and feed that right in to the cap. Make sure you get them all in there. I tend to keep a bead reamer on hand just in case there's any that are just poking out. You can just shove them back in there. Same thing with the other side. One little drop. Cut off the knot, or the knot there on the braid. Put that right into the hole. Oh, that one looks pretty good. Now, the jewelry glue is going to need a good 10 minutes to dry all the way, but it only needs about 30 seconds until it's gripped enough that you can set this aside. And as you can see, we've actually got a finished bracelet here that you just want to set aside to dry.